So this what I'm gonna do. I'm finna start a series. I'm finna start giving out free game on how to start your own studio, like off the rip. This is what you wanna do. In this video, I'm gonna explain the phases that you gonna go through. But I'm gonna do a series, right? And I'm gonna let you know everything that you need to know when it comes to creating music. So look, number one. The number one thing everybody get it mixed up with is that you need the best equipment. You don't need the best equipment, but you do need standard equipment, and you do need equipment that serves a purpose, and you need to know what you're doing with your equipment, because you can have an expensive microphone and not know what you're doing at all. Like, I know it's cliche and everybody say that, but for real, shorty, like, you can have a expensive microphone and not know what you're doing with it at all. So this is what you gotta do. You gotta get you a mic. You gotta get you an interface. You gotta get you some headphones. You gotta get you a powerful enough laptop, because I made the mistake of going for the cheapest laptop. Certain things you do not go for cheap. You get you a decent laptop that's worth some money for real. And the reason I say that is because if you want to do content with it, you're gonna have to stream or whatever you want to do with it. You need the RAM. The RAM is what gets the computer going and lets you multitask. Get you some speakers. You don't have to play them loud. You don't need the best speakers, but you need to learn your speakers, learn your equipment, and get you a small preamp. Now, this is something I wish I would have knew. A small preamp, bro, can take you a long way. And a preamp is really just I could pop it up on screen what a preamp is, or search up microphone preamps, and it's really what all the studios have. That's why when you go to the studio, you wonder why it sounds different from the crib opposed to the studios, because they got equipment. They got certain equipment. Now, this equipment is not going to give you the magical powers to get better at music, but it's going to give you that inspiration, and it could lead to you wanting to do music more and wanting to get better. So I'm going to put y'all on. I'm going to put you on, bro. Get you a preamp. Get you a microphone preamp, bro, because it's going to put power into the mic, and it's going to make your vocal sound radio already. Get you some nice plugins. Now, you need some plugins, because plugins will take you a long way. Like, I don't even use no eyeball no more because of the plugins I use. Like, I like using the eyeball, and I might go back to it, but the only reason I don't use it because it's microphone. When I get a new microphone, I'm gonna use the eyeball, but this ain't about me. You don't need an eyeball. All you need is a noise canceling plugin. And if you fuck with this video, I can go into depth on the plugins that you need to get to that next level that you're trying to get to. All you need is certain plugins, and you need to, and the next thing that I'm gonna say is you need to learn how to be bad at music. I ain't gonna lie. Or learn how to not like your shit for a long time, bro. It took me to my 5th year to actually be like, damn, I fuck with this shit, because I learned everything on my own. I wouldn't advise that. I would advise you to get in these studios and record yourself, because you get to learn from people. You know what I'm saying? I learned from one of my studio homies, but I barely can get in there like that. So a lot of the other stuff I had to learn from YouTube, and really just fail, and never doubt yourself, because it's not as hard as it seems, for real. Like, it's not hard as it seems, for real. It's just unfamiliar. That's what I'm learning. Everything about learning is like unfamiliarity, however you say that word. When you don't know something, you jumping into the deep end without knowing it. So of course it's gonna seem like the hardest thing ever to do, but it's not, for real. I promise you it's not. You find you one template that sound good. You find you one template that sound good, bro. You gonna be able to do something with that. Like, no cap, shorty. You find you one template that sound good, and then you get to tweaking the template into your own voice, and you actually learning what the plugins do. Like, research what the plugins do, and actually get the right headphones too, because you need the right headphones and the right speakers. And you need to learn the technique behind this stuff, and just learn what don't work. When I started learning what don't work, it was easy for me to do what do work. I know it sounds crazy, but just figure out what don't work. And once you figure out what don't work, you gonna know what works. In my next video, I'm gonna go into detail on everything, and I'm gonna take you through a song that I mixed by myself, because I mix all my stuff, and it's not hard, bro. You just have to really love sound. If you don't love it, or if you have to be obsessed with it, you don't even necessarily have to love it, shorty. Like, a lot of people be saying love it. Find out what keeps you going. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't even gonna say you gotta love something for that shit to take off. Whatever motivates you. I know it sounds crazy, whether it's good or bad, whatever you're going through, you got to use that as a stepping stone to get to the next level, bro. Whatever motivates you, that is what's gonna keep you going in these hard times of learning a craft that is unfamiliar to you, shorty. So, I know this video off the top, so it's not as organized as the next video is gonna be. This is really an intro video, because I want to give out a lot of tips and help people out with the help that I didn't have, shorty, when I was trying to come up and mix and learn how to make music and learn how to make beats and shit. Like, it's really not that hard, bro. I ain't gonna lie. You just gotta know what you want to make and just experiment. You feel me? Just cause you don't like it don't mean, just cause you don't like what you made don't mean you got that shit wrong. It's just like, that just ain't your style. Like, that just ain't what you want to hear at the moment. For most cases, like, it's gonna get to a point where you got the basics down in the bag of how to record and how to get your expressions off on the mic. You know, it's not hard, bro. It just takes time, and you gotta really find what drives you to keep you going to do it. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, I say just keep going. I ain't gonna lie. Keep going with that shit. Never give up. It's gonna be hard, bro. It's gonna be hard, but you can get through it. You can get through it. All you gotta do is just try for real. I ain't gonna lie, and get obsessed with it and do your research. Like, I really and make sure that's something that you want to do, cause it's crazy that I learned this for myself. But I initially learned it to help my younger brother out who passed away, but I just kept it going. After that, that's just what got me through life. Just trying to learn how to make music the right way and work on music the right way. I ain't gonna lie. That was just my coping mechanism. I ain't care about money. I ain't care about nothing else. So, find out what drives you to keep you going, and find out what you gravitate towards, and you know what you interested in, and just do it, because it's better to learn things in life. Like, it opens up your brain where you learn shit. So keep learning. Don't never stop learning, man. If I ain't wake up every day, damn near every day, not every day, if I ain't wake up every day and watch the same videos and try to figure out this engineering shit, I wouldn't be making the songs that I'm making today. I wouldn't be able to provide the knowledge that I'm providing today on this video, and that I want to keep providing in the future, because it's not hard, bro. And just because ain't nobody hearing your shit don't determine how good you is. So you gotta really ask yourself, do I want to do this shit for me, or do I want to do this shit because I want somebody to hear my shit? Bro, because you will get lost in the sauce. You gotta realize what you doing it for, bro. Because when you doing it for you, you gonna be satisfied regardless. You gonna look at how far you came. But when you doing it for other people, you gonna erase all the work that you did because you feel like ain't nobody listening. Don't do that. I ain't gonna lie. Don't never do that. I started when I was 20. It took me, no exaggeration, it took me about 4.5 years. It took me about 4.5 years to learn this shit, bro. I ain't gonna lie, and investing to really learn what's going on. And I feel like it's my superpower. It's something that I got that I can be proud of, bro. And that's really all that matter, bro. For real. You got something that you good at. And once you learn other things become more easier to learn, and you see how disciplined you gotta be. I feel like I could have learned it way faster if I put myself out there more, and if I just put found myself in different environments and made myself a lot more uncomfortable. But in reality, bro, you can't rush the time. Like, I look back in the past and I never, it just don't make sense to look back in the past because I never would have seen myself with the mindset that I have now back then. It just wasn't possible. It happened. Like, the way that I went through everything that I went through back then, it happened that way for me to get to the mindset that I am now. And I'm still evolving as we speak, but sometimes your journey is longer than expected. Like, sometimes you gotta take a detour with this shit, bro. So really just get your equipment. It don't gotta be the most expensive equipment, but it has to work. Like, it don't gotta be the most expensive, but it gotta be good enough, and you have to be good enough to work with what you got, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Today's time is getting different. A $200 microphone can perform okay when you starting off, but you gonna have to spend at least $700, $600, and that's not even that bad because you only gonna have to buy that. That's a long-term investment. So spend them racks on that microphone and that equipment, and know what you can be cheap with and know what you can't be cheap with, because that's the number one thing. Don't be cheap with everything. Some things you have to spend that bag on because that's the only result. That's the only answer to the results that you're trying to get. So just know what to blow the bag on, know what to not be so expensive on, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't have to spend your whole bag to make some shit work. It's like you gotta look at building yourself up like a choreography, or like you gotta think of it in a different way, because you can have $1,000 microphone but a $200 interface or a $200 preamp that you got for the low. But since you got the $1,000 microphone, the microphone is what's doing most of the work, and everything else is amplifying the microphone and making the microphone sound better. So really understand that. Really understand what's going on in terms of this shit. Get you some good headphones. And know that music is manipulation. Music is I don't want to say manipulation. Music is what they call that shit? Music is sound design. So you get to design the sound that you want, and everything is not what it seems. It's different. Speakers from the car sound different from studio speakers. So you gotta find some accurate speakers that's gonna sound good inside the studio, and then when you take it out and play it on your phone, it's gonna sound the same. That's one of the biggest things that I had trouble with, was getting my stuff to sound good right here, and then going out and like, damn, why it don't sound the same? Whole time it really, either it don't sound good at all, or you don't got the right equipment where it's sounding good inside your FL Studio or your Pro Tools, but when you take it out, it don't sound the same. So you gotta make sure you got accurate headphones. You gotta make sure you got accurate speakers, so you can be able to identify what frequencies to really stay in. But that's gonna do it for the video, man. Hope you enjoy it. Hit that like, subscribe, or hit that like, follow. I don't know. Hit some shit. I'm about to get up out of here, bro. Check out my other channels. I'm out, man. I love y'all.